Welcome back to a Tuesday night at Heroes and Hooligans. It has been so freaking long since we have been here seeing these beautiful faces and then some new beautiful faces to add into the mix also. So we are at season 2 of Voodoosday, Breaking the Void. Cool name, I know, right? Tell me about it. Anyway, so that being said, it is the most exciting time of the whole evening, the time where my former season 1 cast reintroduces themselves and you get to meet the new guys. And then we're going to get right into it because there's a lot of really cool things to happen in this chaotic place of the Feywild with this band of hooligans. So I'm going to go right here to this direction on the screen next to me to Miss Mads. Mads. What is it? What do you say instead of Mr. or Miss?
Mix.
Mix Mads. There we go. Mix Mads. I apologize because I am ill-informed. Let me rewind. I'm going to go to this beautiful into the other side of me, Mix Mads, and they're going to introduce themselves. Hey, Mads.
Hello, everybody, and it is an absolute pleasure to have everybody return for season 2, along with some new faces, and we shall see what comes of that. Now, me personally, I am a Gorgon, and I am a drummer. At the moment, I am currently all bard, because multiclassing isn't necessarily in the stars until episode 4, possibly. I'm not sure. Huli has yet to make that distinction. Now, me specifically, I'm a College of Glamour. I do not specialize in combat. I prefer battlefield management and charms, and largely dealing with out-of-combat resolutions. That's about all there is for me.
I think you forgot
do you want the player too? What do you want?
You forgot one important detail.
You want? Oh yeah, I'm the master of forces.
And whiskey daddy.
I'm always a whiskey daddy. That just is an easy definition. They'll figure it out. If you're new here, I'm sorry. Go back, watch season 1. Matt has an entire season establishing themselves as a whiskey daddy. You'll love it.
Fair point. Yeah, and who's playing Matt?
That would be me, Shanae. I am one of the cast members here on Heroes and Hooligans that plays maybe a little bit too much, nowhere near enough in comparison to, some people that'll be shortly up, because someone went for bingo and someone won. You can find me personally on Tuesdays on Echoes of Zeppelin. When Graffitied Hearts does come back at some point, you'll find me there as Jen Valentine. Fridays, you'll find me on the Gauntlet as a fucking problem, Ali Fouquet herself. And then on Friday night, Saturday morning, depends on whether or not you run on Animal Crossing time, you'll find me on Broken Scythe Reforged as Emma Petrol. And then you'll also see me as Space Daddy, because we diversify in our daddy recognition here on Heroes and Hooligans. Where I am the DM of Star Bottled, the Spelljammer campaign that we have on Sundays at 12 p.m. Central. I'm a busy fucking bee. I got a lot of shit, but hey, at least I'm not playing in 7 campaigns like the person to my right.
You know what? That is a good segue over to Delia.
Happy to help, Jesus.
Thank you.
Hi, it is me, the one being called out. Love you all. I feel so loved, so appreciated. But okay, yes, I play in multiple campaigns. We could get into that later. For tonight, I am Delia, the water nymph manager. You know what? We can deal with the details later. Unimportant. But for most of the previous season, I was somehow in charge of this clusterfuck, and now we have new clusterfucks to add. It's gonna be great. Will we die? I don't know. Hopefully not. I am a College of Whispers bard, a Circle of the Wellsprings druid, and the Master of Secrets for the wonderful King Flip. I think that's really all we need for my character. Unless we want to.
Nope, that sounds good.
Okay. As previously mentioned, hi, I'm Kayla, the player behind this character. I am in Monday in the Viking game. Tonight, Bards. Friday, you can find me in Call of Cthulhu. You can find me in the Gauntlet. You can find me in Broken Scythe. You can find me in Star Bottled on Sundays. And oh wait, that's right, Saturday. I forgot Saturday. You can find me on Saturday in Eyes of Fate. I'm going to have a breakdown one day, and it will be my own fault. It's fine.
You know
Let's move on.
Speaking of breakdown, Cece, your character is probably pretty close to one, so let's hear about it. The character,
Yeah.
not the breakdown. The character, not the.
Oh, not my personal. Oh, we'll get there later.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Cece, I'm a tiefling, bard, warlock. Part of the reason that we're here in the Feywild is because my patron is asleep or trapped in a thing, and we're trying to get her out. It's a fun time. I am a College of Journeys bard. And I like to tell lots of stories about the travels I've been on. I play violin and occasionally pick up a couple other instruments. But a major thing I do is read tarot cards, and for entertainment purposes, and basically to read everyone else's mail, because I have not been wrong a single time, and it's scary. And I think I got broken up with via letter in a language I couldn't understand. So, yeah, I'm emotional and upset, and yeah, and it's everyone's problem, including mine and tomorrow's. So that's me in a nutshell. And the person who's playing Cece is me, Joe. Hi, I am a human being who just started playing D&D over a year ago and joined Heroes and Hooligans back in February, I want to say.
Something like that.
It's been a minute. And I am in this campaign on Tuesdays. I am on, whenever Graffiti Hearts comes back, I am on Wednesdays as Rosalind the Infernal, because she's a psycho. And then I am on Sundays consistently as Lucy in the Star Bottled campaign. I NPC occasionally for other campaigns as well, like Thursday night. Apparently I need to be taken out of office. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. Speaking of lots of fun, Flip, the big ball of fun.
Greetings. It is I, King Flip. I am an agent of chaos, such that I nose-gamed my way into a throne. I think that just about covers it. Also, sometimes I drink coffee. I am a College of Creation bard, which means I can make my own coffee as long as the day hasn't been that complicated. I am a fairy, a subterranean fairy, to be specific. So I kind of glow in the dark, but, you know, whatever. I mean, honestly, telling you that I'm a College of Creations bard with a caffeine habit who nose-gamed his way into the throne seems to cover it.
You forgot one thing. Fire dancing.
Oh, yeah. I'm obsessed with fire. Fire is amazing. And I just met a phoenix who taught me their ways. So now I get to play with fire, too.
It's very chaotic. It's very exciting. And I really
There's
love
like
it
a whole interlude about a drunk wizard, too, that we have yet to fully delve into.
Oh, yeah, there's like a whole backstory in there that, like, I mean, there's a method to the madness and reasons for things. But for the most part, the chaos covers it up because coping mechanisms.
Hey!
Behind the scenes, I am Cappy. I am Flip here on Tuesdays. I also play a tree on Thursdays.
We do. I live in your branches.
And our DM lives in my branches and tries not to light me on fire, which is a lot of fun. yeah, so you should come check me out when I'm being a tree. I move and talk a lot slower than I promise. But yeah, that's me.
It is. It is you moving and talking. Slow as a tree and fast as Flip. We have some new movers and talkers, some new faces on the channel, and some faces that have been on the channel before but are new to this game. And so about those folks, we're going to go right over to the person behind Clapper Claw. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then introduce your character. Since you are a new face to us, we want to know you first.
Yeah, I'm Don. I've been playing D&D for, I think it's like 6 years now. I don't know. Time combines together the last few years. But first time here on the channel. I'm super excited to be here. I'm playing Clapper Claw, who is going to be very fun to play. Clapper Claw is a scarecrow. And I believe I am extremely grateful to everyone here who helped me get my head back. It's a very nice head. And I believe I'm getting ready to help them try to get into Thither. I think that about covers it.
That is correct. That is correct. You are helping them. And they did help you. Because they sometimes, amongst their chaos, can be particularly helpful, but only if soap is involved. Don't ask questions, just know has to have soap involved. We have also joining us Erebus. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character, please, Clockwork.
Hi, Clockwork. I have played on Heroes and Hooligans for a bit now. I started, actually played in a one-shot with Hooli over on DMDM Studios, who we first met, and due to that fated meeting, I ended up here on Heroes and Hooligans, playing Robin Wren the Fae on Graffiti's Hearts. Hopefully that'll be coming back next year. You can watch me on Wednesdays. Though, for the foreseeable future, you can catch me here on Tuesdays, playing Erebus Nocturne. Funny how you mentioned Thither, considering I've kind of been there for a bit. Made a bit of reputation for myself there. Started striking out solo, finally left my band back in, well, not the Feywild, and went solo. I believe I managed to make a name for myself as the Night Hound of Thither. Sure you've heard of me. If you haven't, well, I won't last for very long.
We love it. You hush. You're being nicer this season, remember?
I know.
You hush. And speaking of making names for yourselves, we have one more name to make for you, and that is Diggory G. Kind or kind? Is
Kind.
it long? Kind. Bingo.
Hi, what's up? I'm Leia. I have been playing TTRPGs for 14 years now. Kind of made it my whole life. Because I'm also a game designer and a PhD student studying games. So just all games all the time. And I am playing Diggory or G, who is a College of Swords bard. All bards all the time. Just all of it. Fallen SMR. Yeah, I don't know. Been wandering, learned a bunch of instruments, will introduce themselves as the merch person. Even though they can play all of the things.
Probably get along really well with Bob, because Bob is the forever roadie, and the merch guys usually get along with the roadie guys because you're kind of in the same shit position. So just wait till you meet Bob, because he is the best roadie ever.
Right now, I have planned for this character to be, fairly in the, like tries not to take up too much room, but also once chaos starts, that's just it. It's forever. So we'll see.
Well, for those of you just joining us for the first time, both at the table and in the audience, it is all chaos all the time, so much that we are embracing the chaos and that if we weren't, we wouldn't be living up to our name. So we just we gotta make it happen. So we're gonna roll into the game in just one moment. Kayla is gonna give us a quick recap towards the end of season 1, which is gonna draw us into where we are at now. Not a whole season, just kind of like a last point to refresh our memories for where you are as we take off into the Feywild.
Thank you for not making me do the whole season.
You're
All right. Listen up, Chuckle Fucks. This is what happened last time. Last time, we basically established King Flip's court. It's great. It's wonderful. We renamed the whole town. Great. We left. We started to head towards Clapper Claw's little camp. We stayed the night. We read a letter. Things happened. Emotions. Coffee. It was chaos. It was great. And now it's morning. The end.
You know what? That was beautiful. Short, sweet, to the point. So the entirety of tomorrow's problem, Mads, Delia, Flip, Cece, and their Clapper Claw, in this, if I remember, very bougie, elegant camp. When I was listening back, I think there was a dice roll that was made that said Clapperclaw had a nice camp. So Clapperclaw has a nice, beautiful camp. Here it is. There's pumpkins and a greenhouse tent in there somewhere. You can't see it, but it is there. It exists. It is a thing. He is the most elegant scarecrow friend you have ever met in your life, and you should be just overjoyed with his presence. That's how excited we are to just be in this awesome camp in the Feywild, right? With your friend Clapperclaw. So it's a beautiful morning. The fairy birds are birding in the trees, and the wind is winding through them, and it's just nice and fairy-like all around you, right? About how it was when you went to sleep, except for just a little brighter, almost like the sun's out, but not quite. You know, it's kind of like that weird twilightiness that you experience, but like a brighter version of it. So you wake up, it's morning, you're excited to go on your adventure. Clapperclaw is up, no longer sleeping on their rock bed. They've got the boat, the journey. What are you doing?
Being moody as fuck. I don't know how else to put it. Cece's not okay, so she's just still gonna be like sitting there, like, okay, fine, I guess, like, let's just pack up our shit and go. Whatever.
At this point, Mads is already up and has kind of collected their things.
Flip is very quietly but quickly packing up his things, Cece's things. If Delia seems like she's too moody to pack up her own stuff, but won't bite his head off, he'll probably quietly zip over and pack up her stuff. Just kind of putting the backpack on Cece.
Thanks.
I think Delia's been up for a while and just trying to find emotional ground zero. And, all right. So are we ready to go?
From hither
This will ever
to
be.
yon.
I
don't
thought
know
it
if
was
No, we're
Yeah.
in hither. We're going to thither.
Right.
But isn't there also a place called Yon?
I don't know. I just know that the words go together.
Fuck it.
I know far better than to attempt to question the Feywild. It's fine. It's whatever
Yeah.
strange nomenclature they choose to approach with.
Yeah, sure. Let's just go.
Sure. And Clapperclaw like finished putting some dead plants in his bag for later. And we'll start to lead them to thither.
Yeah, so you're gonna get on a boat. It is sort of style, just a little wider and a little deeper so that there's like travel space. Clapperclaw gets on the back with a stick because you're in, like, if you remember correctly, a lot of Thither was very swampy and marshy, so it's not like a super thick waterway and it's not moving very fast. So, you know, the river stick guide thing kind of works out pretty well. So you can get in, there's places to put your stuff. It's not a tight fit, it's fairly comfortable, and you set off on your way down the river, the opposite direction of anywhere you have been, clearly in the direction of Thither. And you see this sort of large mountain spine scape kind of through this thick, heavy mist as you head towards Thither. Clapperclaw leads you right into the mist. Erebus, you are in Thither. You have made a name for yourself. You have a reputation. You've been here quite a while. What are you doing right now in this particular moment?
At this particular moment, I'm actually rested up on the various taverns that I managed to find myself in, and I'm racking my head about new song I'm working on, trying to get the lyrics just right, find the right melodies. As I'm going through it, you'd see me playing with this nice ebon black bass that seems to tune itself as I'm fiddling about with it.
So you're just lazing about, kind of relaxing in a tree branch with your leg dangling down. Thither is pretty heavily wooded, a lot of it very green forest, except for a portion which you had recognized seemed a little more lifeless. And you're kind of hanging out in your tree, playing your instruments, you know, figuring out your song. And you hear some rustling in the bushes around the trees below you. And you hear a very familiar whistling sound shoot through the bushes, a couple different directions, about 5 different points, the whistle you hear through there. And you very quickly realize the poker game that you had been playing 3 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, where you ended up with the whole pot that you shouldn't have ended up with. You know, you didn't cheat, but you didn't cheat. That's what you'll say. And that's all that really matters. But the leader of the gang, who you happen to swindle out of that nice ruby ring with the lion's head on it, has sent his goonies out after you to retrieve his belongings. And you recognize that whistle. It's sort of like a hound whistle. And you see a brigade of Harengon brigands jump from this tree bush, and they, you know, give you this sort of "we're gonna stick ya" mindset with their little blades, and you're cornered in the tree, sort of, maybe.
Are you really having to do this? Do you really not have anything better to do with your time right now? Can't you see that I'm a little bit fucking busy?
Well, you see, Massa said he will pay us real well if we brought that ring back to him.
And you fucking believe him?
Yes, 5 gold bunny crowns apiece. That's more gold than we've seen in 6 months.
Fucking unfortunate, that's what it fucking is.
That's capitalism, my friend. Bottom of the totem pole, you make the least amount of money.
Make your own fucking totem pole then. What the fuck you doing on the hymn?
I'm gonna make my totem pole here when I bring your hand in the ring he wanted back.
Don't have to get it from me first.
And he sort of moves in the direction of the tree. Now, the tree that you're in is fairly tall. I'll say you picked this one because it stands out from the ones around it. It is a very specific kind of tree that only grows in this area of the forest, and you really love it because the color of the wood underneath the bark is a very deep violet, red, purple color, and you can kind of see that sticking through its dark bark. And the smell of it is like black cherries So it's a very enticing scented tree. The wood is very hard. It makes a good guitar neck. If you ever had the time to craft your own, you have thought about it while hanging out in the tree. Wow, this would make a beautiful instrument. You just haven't really had the time. But so it's the one tree that you like to hang out in. But you can see there's a line of trees that makes you a clear path of escape if you wanted to avoid conflict. But the problem is the line of trees leads you right into the mist.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'd love to stick around and hash this out with you, but I honestly got other places to be. And with that, Erebus is going to point down the base as he strums a fount of black shifting shadows, just launches from it and surrounds the base of the tree as I cast Fog Cloud and begin to make my way the fuck out of here.
Okay. I will say there are 4 trees about 15 foot apart with some other little trees in the mix, but I'm talking about the big ones like you're in. About 4 of them. And if you could make if you get a 16 or higher, we'll say you get through all of them, but under a 16, we'll re-roll at each tree. Dex.
Dexterity? All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Acrobatics? Just normal.
Acrobatics. Usually it's a higher mod.
All right. Fuck yeah. Oh, that sucked. That was a 4 on the die. That's not going to be worse. All right. So with acrobatics, that is a 7. Not a 9.
A 9. Oof. Okay. So we'll say you make it to the tree, but not without slipping. When you get on your tiptoe on the branch, you slip and you kind of like fall forward and crack your elbow on a branch that kind of hurts. So you'll take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, but you're able to pull yourself up into the tree. Give me another dex to the next tree. Same thing. If you get a 16, you'll be completely out. If not,
as I'm hands on the tree, as I'm like lifting myself up, as my base actually like falls, there's no strap on it, but before it can get far enough from me, they notice shadows kind of creep around and make a strap around my torso as I'm like lifting myself back up onto this branch. And come on, please don't fucking fail right now. Much better. That's a 18 on the die plus 5. That is, I can totally do math. 23.
Oh yeah, you're getting out. You just needed a 16 or above to get out. So you're out. So you jump, you get up, you slip the first time because it was like not expecting it. You were in a very comfortable, laid back position, and you're like moving your ass to get out. You slip, you get into the next tree, you get up, you dust yourself off, and you're like, fuck this, I'm out. And you make a beeline. You're like, bing, 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 out of the trees, into the mist. As soon as you get into the mist, you land on another tree. This one very similar to the one that you've been in, but the wood on this tree is like a dark teal on the inside, and you can see that kind of coming through. It's like light oaken kind of bark. And this tree smells like vanilla and jasmine together. Okay, it's very light scented, but it's still very enticing. It's very nice. But you notice that everything around you is very misty. And the moment you have to regain your balance, when both of your feet hit the branches and you realize you're in the mist, you remember the one thing that you have heard the entire time from being in Thither is to not go in the mist without a guide, because you will get lost. So now running through your head is this whole shit, I'm away from those guys, but I'm stuck here. And when you turn around like, oh, I'll jump back out, there's 12 more trees that look just like the one you're in right there. Doesn't look the
fuck. You know what? Set up the fucking ring. That's all that fun matters. Let's get the hell out of this tree. I start to scale down it till my feet touch soil, I presume. and try to make heads or tails of where I'm at.
It's kind of a mossy sort of northern, think Pacific Northwestern forest style, where it's kind of like a mossy, damp ground with the perpetual mist all the time. It's not like a dank smelling forest. You're still in the Feywild. It still has a very moderately pleasant scent, but it feels very difficult to navigate your way. The only thing you can see off in the distance is kind of what is the shadows of the mountains you could see from thither before. So you can kind of recognize that. So the camera kind of pans to you saying, all right, fuck it, and heading in what you think is towards the mountains. You're like, I've never been out of thither. I'm already in here. I'm going to try to get out on the other side. So the camera follows Erebus as Erebus heads off towards the mountains. When we get through the fog and through the mountains, as the camera kind of goes black for a moment and comes through on the other side, we find ourselves on Telemy Hill, where Digger and Jingle Jangle have been having truffle whiskey and tea. Jingle Jangle has been telling Diggory about some friends that they met along the way and how they made truffle whiskey and just about other adventures, different kinds of things. What's up with you, Diggory? What are you doing at Jingle Jangle, the goblin with a trench coat full of keys, their camp?
Honestly, probably just waking up. I assume it's like the afternoon, but still just waking up. Kind of always in a perpetual state of tired. So yeah, drinking whiskey, listening quietly, maybe putting a little tune behind the story. On the guitar that he carries. Yeah.
Just kind of hanging out with Jingle Jangle, playing and listening to the stories. Jingle Jangle's a very excitable little goblin. They live on Telemy Hill. You know, Telemy Hill is it's a hill that kind of like moves around. It's full of sentient trees and plants. They were very polite to you when you came through. You answered all their riddles correctly and you got up here to the top. You were just trying to find a place to rest because you had also encountered some Harengon brigands who were trying to take things from you that you weren't willing to give up. Your childhood memories, your smile, the color of your eyes, you know, any of that. You didn't want to give away any of the things that they wanted to take from you. So you were trying to hide and you made friends with this sweet little goblin. The problem is, these Harengon brigands are fairly relentless because they've gone through some shit in the last little bit. Like, they thought they made friends with some folks. Maybe they made frenemies with some folks. Maybe they reconciled frenemy ships. They don't really know what's going on. They just they're at the bottom of the totem pole too. They get paid to knock shit around and that's what they're going to do. So they really, really, really want the color of your eyes. And they're so clandestine to take that from you that they have been figuring out how to get up Telemy Hill without the trees knowing. And then they figured it out. They made a deal with somebody who shall not be named, but somebody they made a deal with to give them the ability to walk as light as the air so that they didn't make any noises or sounds as they would move around and creep up the hill. Harengons move incredibly fast, so a light sure-footedness without the ability to be detected, almost deadly, right? So you're sitting there, kicked back, you just woke up, you're like, yeah, I don't really got shit to do today. I'm going to hang out with Jingle Jangle's cooking some berry pies and stuff like that, just kind of hanging out. And so you get up, you go out, you sit by the fire, kick your feet up on the rock next to you, just kind of relaxing, and you hear some whistling come from the bushes. And you immediately recognize the whistling because it's the same whistling that caught you off guard before, but this time, maybe they're not going to catch you off guard. What do you do when you hear the whistling, Diggory?
Sigh real loud. And this is entertaining because I think that that the two newest characters have kind of the same, almost the exact same reaction. to what's happening. Are you sure you want to do this?
We're sure we want a party. Want the color of your eyes. It's going to make Agdon real happy, and then we'll be promoted to Brigand Kings too.
But the color of my eyes is so boring. Don't
But
you
we
want
want it.
something else?
Beauty is in the eye of the eye color holder. Don't you know this already? Put them up. And they stick out their sword as they jump from the bushes. And it is an unrealistic combat amount of bunnies that hops from the bushes around you. There's like 12 of them. And you're just like, shit. Because in the 12 of them, you see these two brothers. You recognize them because it was two brothers and their little friend before. You see Terry and Larry. And they're big, brutish brothers. And they're kind of like ogre bunnies. And then they got this little tiny shorter bunny that follows them around. His name is Mo. So you got Terry and Larry and Mo, and they go around together. But then there's a bunch of other guys. So you know, like, whoa, God, not these guys again. But they're bound and determined to get what they want from you. Jingle Jangle has receded into their house. You can hear them being scared because you can hear the rattling of the keys as they shake in their Feywild boots. And you're kind of on your own.
Cool. So he's gonna look at Terry and Larry and he's gonna say, if you choose to do this, I'm gonna kill Mo. And we'll just bring out the big guns immediately, because why not? You know? There are what? How many of them are there? Lots?
Yes.
Great. I'm gonna just pull out Necrotic Shroud. So as a fallen Asmar. So one of my eyes is always like black. But the other one also turns black. Dark black skeleton wings come out from my back, and they all need to make charisma saving throw or become frightened.
All right, charisma. What's the DC?
That's a phenomenal question. That's gonna be.
I've got a 21.
It's gonna beat it.
Okay.
Probably.
So you are big necrotic-y and shrouded-y, but
Yeah.
they are not scared of you.
That's
But
fine.
when you get into your own sort of space, in your necrotic space, you hear this whispering, and you recognize the whispering as the whispering of the trees, and you hear them beckoning you towards them as if they have an escape route to provide for you as a one last ditch. We're kind of your friend. We don't want to see this go down effort, but don't ever ask for a favor again because we're trees and that's about life, you know?
Yeah,
Sort of.
absolutely.
So they're like drawing you in towards their direction. And Telemy Hill moves all around. We know this, but you've been fairly close to the mountainside and the border of the mist, because that's where Jingle Jangle feels the safest, and the trees want to keep them safe. So your exit plan, unfortunately, is also leading you towards the direction of the mist, but it's either that or massive amounts of combat.
As much as I would love to just bring us into combat immediately, I will follow the trees.
All right. So same thing. We'll say there's 4 trees, and you've got a DC 16 to get all the way through, or we'll say a 12 to get from one to the next.
Roll a 19 on the die.
Okay, so yeah, so you're going to get all the way through. I know you got an extremely high dex swords bard, so you're going to get all the way through, and you're going to be going through are kind of like willowy trees. They're more swampy. You have been on the hither side of things, which is very marshland, swampland, so it's a lot of shrubbery. dead and decay things. So a lot of willow trees that live there. And so that's pretty much what you're going through. And the willow trees that you're going through have these long pink willows, and they smell like cherries, and it smells beautiful. And so you're going through and they smell sweet, and you get onto the other side and you're in the same kind of trees, except for they're teal colored. And they smell like persimmons instead.
All right.
And then you find yourself in a very similar sort of setting, very marshy, lowlandsy, but you find yourself in the mist. And when you get settled into the mist, very similar to Erebus, you have this moment of realization, shit. Don't go into the mist without a guide or I'm going to get fucking lost. Here I am. I might be fucking lost.
Is not concerned at all. Will just keep walking.
So you just start walking.
Yeah, trust the trees entirely. If they put me here, this is where I'm supposed to be.
All right, so you head on walking in the direction that you think is where the mountains are. And so you just go, and you just see the camera just follows Diggory towards the mountains, and then it pans off back into the mist where Tomorrow's Problem and Clapperclaw have entered in. And you guys get into the mist. And at first, Clapperclaw, when you get in, this is a very familiar route to you. You know exactly which waterways and paths that you're meant to follow as the river different directions. You know exactly which way to cut through the mountain. You know that you want to go between the mountain, like in and not over. Then you run into big scary things. Even though the in-between part looks big and scary, it's still the safest route. So you get through and you're going through, and it's still like a very similar setting to how Thither was. It's very like marshy, lowlandsy kind of style. The fog is very thick. It doesn't smell terrible in the mist, and you're just traveling through to the point that you're going to hell. I just forgot the place that you were gonna go to.
Not
anyways,
hell.
when you're going,
Please don't send us to hell.
you're going back to hell. But
Once was enough, Jesus. Once was enough.
I learned my lesson.
We learned
Don't make me get my sweet baby Vincent back out for this. He finally got a girlfriend. Leave him alone.
You all went to hell.
We'll get there.
Don't worry about it.
They
You have no
repented.
touch up
They
on that.
repented. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some of us remember.
ClaricCon
Did nothing wrong. Mads did nothing wrong.
ClaricCon 2022 was a whole vibe. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
ClaricCon
Reverend-
2022 was an Alabama sermon, and I will take no questions.
Accurate.
Because I live in Alabama and I gave you the sermon of my life, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you.
Yeah.
Reverend Albert Sharp, the best cleric you have ever met in your entire life, and you can't say anything but that. Thank you. Have a nice day. Anyways, back to Feywild, because we're not in hell. You're going.
You're taking this path. Flip is singing under his breath. Over the mountain and through the mist, to thither I hope we go. The pumpkin might know the way. We don't have a sleigh, and I don't think it will snow.
It's good. It could use a little work, but it's good. I do like it.
Hmm.
It was very pleasant while I'm pushing us along.
I appreciate that. That's true. We do have a boat. The boat's like a sleigh,
Yeah.
but there's still no snow. I'm gonna keep working on it though. Over the mountain and through.
Do you want snow?
I mean, if I wanted snow, I would make snow, but I'm kind of trying to save those spells for like in case something tries to eat us.
Okay, I throw frostbite into the air to kind of create as close to snow as I can for you. Does that
Over
work?
the river and through the mist, and now Delia made snow. That works better.
Certainly a work in progress.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Who
We're
has your
working on
highest passive perception?
Hi. Took the observant feat. 22. What you got, Jesus?
It ain't me.
So as you're, listening
Yes.
along as well, you roll your eyes after you're like, yes, could use work, in a very Mads fashion. You roll your eyes, and just as your eyes roll off to the side where the side of the boat is, you see somebody walking through the trees on the right-hand side of the bank.
Clapperclaw, there's supposed to be people walking alongside the river.
I mean, it's possible. There's normally all the people stay out of the mist because it looks big and scary, but all the really scary stuff's up on the mountains. So there's not normally people here, but I suppose you could get lost in the mist if you weren't careful.
Are you able to stop the boat for a moment?
Yeah, and he'll like position the stick and sort of slow us and then stop.
Great. You over there, are you all right?
Diggory, you hear somebody hollering in your direction as you're kind of walking, just chilling through the mist.
Yeah, I'm all right. You all right?
As good as we can be, given that we're, traveling through the mist. Are you lost?
Pretty much always.
That's deep, yo.
Where are you looking at getting to? Are you heading to Thither?
Out of the mist?
Clapperclaw, you said without a guide it's difficult to leave?
Yeah, most people, if you don't know where you're going, are kind of stuck here wandering. I know the way out, though.
The trees sent me this way. Figure this is where I'm supposed to be. Your boat and all.
Matt has a 17 passive insight. What vibe does Matt get from you?
Totally, entirely nonplussed. Everything about that, totally true.
Do you remember how chill Lever was about a lot of things? Diggory exudes very Lever version of very Lever level chill vibes. So you pick up on that, Mads. Like whenever you're like insight, you're like, is this person full of shit? Is this Feywild nonsense? Or they is stuck in the mist, right? You're like looking into that and you're like, wait a minute, this person reminds me of Lever. All right, they can't be lying. That was too straight.
Well, I'm not going to make any assumptions about Lever, but would you like some assistance getting out of the mist?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you got any more room on your boat?
Lots of room.
I suppose it's a rather large boat.
I don't actually need the space I'm taking up.
Yeah, frankly, as long
can
as Flip stays with us.
So can I just jump onto the boat, Huli? Like, can I just? Is it close enough that I can just walk on?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I will just do that then.
It's enough space, Flip, that you really don't have to give up your seat. But I will err you on the side of caution that if you leave the boat and try to fly, you could very easily lose sight, more so than you already have, and more so than you already have of the boat, and could maybe end up lost yourself. So if you want to fly, maybe tether yourself to the front or the back of the.
Yeah, I had figured I'd have to hold on to a guide rope of some sort.
Yeah.
If it came.
If
to
you
it.
need to, I can get out some rope from my bag and Cece can hold you like a balloon.
I mean, as much fun as that sounds like, it sounds like there's also room in the boat. So I'll just scooch over and be like, "May I have your name, my good friend?"
Friends call me G.
Nicely done, G. Most folks call me Flip.
It's King Flip.
There's a whole town that calls me Your Majesty, but that's just kind of weird.
King it is.
You play that thing?
Yep. Which thing are you talking about? Actually,
Any of them.
I have two
Any
things.
of-
I have
all
two
of them.
things. Please refer to them.
Okay, so referring to all of them, Diggory will just say yes.
Which one's your favorite?
Depends on my mood, I guess.
Real question: are you any good?
No.
Are you recruiting right
Oh.
now?
I wasn't recruiting. I was just making friendly professional conversation.
No. I understand that one. That one's fine. I'm used to you. But Delia, you can't be recruiting right now.
I'm not recruiting. It was an honest question. Do you know how many people we have run across? Oh, maybe not you've run across, but I've run across in time that, oh yeah, I played these, but do you play them well? No, they don't. And then they offer to play for you and it's awful. And so, okay. You know what? Never mind.
She's not wrong.
Not important.
No, I feel like that's very important because, like, if somebody plays a trumpet badly, it just hurts.
Thank you.
Clapperclaw, have you ever heard somebody play a trumpet badly?
I've heard people play trumpets better than others. I kind of enjoy all of it.
We've
My
got to
kinda
get you
guy
ahead
right
with
there.
ears next time, Clapperclaw.
I like this one.
Anyway, G, you said, huh?
Yeah.
So, which one's your favorite, though? Because, like, I know we all say it depends on the mood, like, la da da da. But be honest, we all have a favorite. Which one's yours?
Probably play the guitar more often.
Fair enough. We don't actually have a guitarist in the boat yet, do we?
Are we seriously considering hiring people after we just lost another one of us? Are we doing that right now?
Not at all.
No. She will just say no.
Open conversation. This is gonna
Mostly,
be a
I'm
long
just trying to make sure we
ride.
have enough. Wait, do you have anything pokey with you? Any weapons? Because
Yeah, they've got a huge sword on their back. So yeah, a long sword.
great.
That's what it would be.
Flip, there's a large blade on his back.
Yes, I see that now.
there.
Thank you.
Manny.
Any? Okay.
If you
That's
had a
cool.
preference.
It depends on the day.
I can do that.
Alright,
Just
well,
let me
tell
know
us at
which
the
one's
top of the
okay.
morning, I suppose. Are we starting a mind meld, Flip? Is that what's happening? Have we reached a point that we're starting to... you know what? No,
Yeah.
I'm not delving into that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh,
I don't know, I think there was a goose in the distance.
Chris.
Geese are very loud. I think there's one named
It's
Chris
just one.
somewhere.
There's a second goose named Chris, and it's completely different than the first goose.
Yeah. A little nicer than those.
Clapperclaw, I forgot to ask you.
The geese are haunting Jesus. I'm sorry, what was that, Flip?
Sorry.
Noise in the mist because we're starting to chat a lot. Like, should we be quiet?
I don't know. I've never really encountered anything dangerous on this path before. Like I said, as long as you stay off the edge of the mountains, if you try and go over, you can come into all kinds of like scary monsters and things like that. But generally, things stay out of down here. So I think we're okay.
If you stay on the path, you're okay. Clapperclaw knows the way through, so they're like, yeah, of course it's okay because I know the way, right? But there are things that go bump in the night in places that you probably shouldn't try to investigate, or you could end up in places worse than Bunny Hell because that was kind of like a dream, but maybe not. I don't know. You'll figure it out someday. But
I forgot that there were two different variants of hell. There was hell, and then there was also bunny hell, and then there was that other hell in the manor where I was shrunk down to 6 inches. Like, you know, Jesus, you really do enjoy like an entire like charcuterie board of hell.
You were not in hell. You were just small. Okay?
That is hell. I had to be carried.
hey, you know
I
what?
feel like that
Charcuterie
is a
boards,
personal attack.
charcuterie boards are dishes of chaos best served cold, and I am serving it to you extremely cold.
Charcuterie boards are entirely different. We're talking about charcuterie board. If I wanted a charcuterie board, I would have stayed in Bullywugton.
You know what? You probably could get the best charcuterie board you ever had in your life in Bullywugton. Anyway, so you're trapped,
Granted, the clothes
right?
sucked.
G
Yes.
will turn to Cece. and be like, just here to travel. Promise not to replace anyone.
She's just gonna look at you and then turn back to look at the side of the boat and just look off in the distance.
It's fair.
Gee, you're gonna hear in
See?
your head it's nothing personal. You might want to give her some space.
Cece,
What?
see? Remember your reading?
What?
Your reading, your tarot reading that we had at the end of the night before we went to bed.
Oh.
Yes, if you'll recall, didn't you draw a card about new connections and new beginnings?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting them to happen instantly.
Well, fine and good. How about we don't slam the fucking door? Don't slam the fucking door.
Fine. What did I draw?
Reflect on that later. Clapperclaw, I think it's best if we keep going.
Clapperclaw will sort of nod and get the boat moving again.
So
Apologies, sort of coming into the role of master of forces. It's a whole thing.
You're very good at it.
So the boat gets moving again, and you push off from the shore, and you start back down the river, and you see like it kind of forks and has like a spider webs that it possibly could go. It's very like bayou, marshy type travel. And you come closer through the mist to the point of the edge of the mountains. And when you get to the edge of the mountains, you see that there is one path of water that cuts directly through this very tall, like break in the mountains. And it looks very dark and very scary, kind of. But you can see, you can actually see clear sky above the point of the top of that mountain. For the first time since being in the mist, you can see clear sky there, but there is also like the water that goes through.
And I believe I'm going to steer us through. And Clapperclaw will just kind of warn everybody, we're almost there. You can see Thither from here.
There's fucking mist. That's not how that works.
So the camera shows Clapperclaw pushing the boat into this sort of canal in this craggy, rocky mountain kind of gully area. It pans in and you start to push in. It's a bit brighter in here than like through the, you don't have like the hazy misty part, but it's still kind of like dark. Does that make sense? Brighter but dark at the same time? Like it's not misty, but it's
Perfect
still
sense.
kind of dark. Well, yeah, you know what? You're the exception. You're the
Crystal clear.
yeah.
Possibly pertinent to G. I am wearing very dark goggles this entire time. Relevant to the person playing G, I don't have eyes.
That's
Lots
okay.
of teeth, though.
They've really
It's
only got
easy.
one anyway, so I
There's
throw
at
it
least
up.
like 3 rows of teeth too many.
Anyway,
So the camera shows all of the teeth in Flip's mouth for a moment, and then shows a big toothy grin smile at that point. Like, yeah, look at all these teeth. And then it pans over to Erebus. Erebus, you've been walking through this sort of piney forest for a while, this sort of northern Pacific feeling forest for a while. And you start to come into what feels like the shadow of the mountain, except for like the sun side. I don't know what that part's called. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah,
So
don't-
that's the part. And the trees sort of change from trees to very, very large mushrooms, which I have a beautiful picture of mushrooms to share with you.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
It's pretty. I like it.
Very. All right.
For the first time, the mist is sort of cleared around you, so you can see this entire picture in front of you.
Fucking beautiful. He kind of like eyes one of the larger mushrooms and kind of gauging whether or not it'd be a good place to like post up for a little bit, get some more writing done. Damn it, let's try it. And goes to try to like scale one of the large mushrooms.
DC 14 acrobatics to safely get to the top. 60 foot tall is the big mushroom there in the front.
Nice. Could I pivot it to be athletics?
You could certainly shoot for athletics if you would like.
Perfect. Let's try this out. Fuck me, man. It was athletics, all right? So it was a 9 on the die, but with +7, that makes that 16.
All right, so you get up the stalk of the mushroom, and you find a sturdy set of whatever the tendrils and the under part of the mushroom are. You find one that's not like mushy and easily crushed, but one that's sturdy enough for you to like hang up and climb around so you can get on top of the stool. And you get up there and you can see like the sun shining through the trees around you. There's different kinds of trees, different kind of mushrooms, bright flora and fauna. You see some birds and animals. You don't see any other beings thus far, but you know, you see some like woodland creatures of the Fae variety, living their life naturally around. And you don't seem to be, bothering anybody up there. But I would love for you to give me a Constitution save, please.
So that is going to be, that's going to be 17.
All right. You are going to be feeling extremely euphoric, a little more chattery than normal, very relaxed, kind of like you're laying in a warm bath, but very like excitable and chattery at this, and maybe even a slight bit hungry.
I could really go for some like a real primo stew right now. It's like get lentils in there and some. I eat, and it's like kind of like snaps at one, like the fairies kind of passing by. There's like a really good lentil place nearby. Like, are there any good lentil places in Thither?
You think for a moment you're snapping at a fairy that goes by, and you talk to them, and then you wait for them to respond, and then you like blink and you realize there's no fairy there.
I look down at this massive mushroom that I'm on with just the biggest fuck off grin on my face and say, "Oh, I'm so taking some of you." And I immediately like start shoving up some spores or whatever the fuck into a bag.
It is very bright blue on the top, like the brightest royal blue you've ever seen, with some speckles of like a navy blue kind of through it.
It's really gonna make the rice good.
If you would like to harvest some mushroom, I will say you could roll a survival for that.
I'm so survival.
You could roll a survival. Since you're sitting on top of it, you probably have a dagger. 12 survival.
1. Not 1.
You get nothing. But at Heroes and Hooligans, when Hooligan DMs, we do have this system of chaos coins. You are allowed up to 3 chaos coins on your person per session, and they do not roll over into the next one. You receive them on a nat 20, a nat 1, or from the audience. So you receive a chaos coin for your nat 1 that you may use. It functions as an advantage, essentially, a re-roll if you get another nat 1, something like that. So you can add an advantage to your inventory, and you'll have that later on.
Thank you.
So you get dick shit as a kite.
You're a really sturdy fucking mushroom. It's fucking on. And with that, like, Everest continues to try to like harvest some of it and just fails utterly, like completely. Is more so destroying the mushroom rather than managing to forge any of it. It's kicking up more and more spores, getting higher and higher as he's up there.
Yeah, you thought you got your dagger out of your bag, but you actually reached into your mess kit and pulled out your spork that you broke. You broke it about 3 days ago. It might have been 8 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. You broke it a few days ago when you were eating a really, really good chicken korma that you got at one of your gambling nights back in Thither. So it's like a dull spork. It's not really doing you any good.
It's not.
Just to
it's-
recap, how old is this thing?
How old is what?
Just to recap, how old is this fork thing?
The spork itself, a couple of days. Couple of days.
Couple of days. You know.
While I'm up here, if I were to look out to the distance, do I see Thither? Or am I at a high enough elevation to even have that on my radar?
You are muted if you are.
muted.
Wow!
Jesus.
What a dick.
Jesus.
Anyway,
In the middle distance there.
Marking that
that's-
off on the bingo card.
Yep, I was gonna say that's one for the show. How many more do we got?
Isn't that the free space Hooli talks while muted?
No.
Yeah.
That the free space is someone says tomorrow's problem.
Already
Oh,
did
yeah,
it.
I got that.
Yeah.
Already done.
Anyway, so you're up on the top of the mushroom and you're looking around and you traveled through the mist. You've been in Thither the whole time. You know on the other side of the mist in the mountains is Hither. You traveled through the mist. You're in a place where you don't see mist. So your only assumption is that you could be in Hither.
Right.
That would be what your thought process would be. You're like, oh, I went through the mist. I'm out of the mist. I'm on the other side. Hither, not Thither.
Well, I was planning on going on tour anyway. Might as well start it out. What the fuck is civilization in Heather? Very much can't make coin off of, well, hallucinatory fairies. And I'm going to make my way off the mushroom itself and choose a direction. I'm going to go north on the trail. Just take that cardinal direction and walk.
Okay. So you're going to walk. The camera's going to cut back to a point before you getting down off the mushroom to tomorrow's problem. And now Diggory and Clapperclaw, as they're coming through that mountain pass to the other side, where Clapperclaw, normally when you get to the other side, you can see the dock for the first Thither. But when you get there to the other side, you don't see that. And this very confuses you because you know the way through the mist. You should be getting into Thither from Hither through the mountain in the mist, but this is not what you recognize. Instead, you see a sort of brighter coastline and these large mushrooms and things like this here. This is the coastline you kind of see when you're coming through the mountains. And it kind of tosses you off your game a little bit because you are an expert mist navigator and this should not be happening.
This is different, but I think we're here.
You think.
You said that you've been here a lot of times. And
You
yet
said that you knew the way.
think.
I am an expert guide, but the dock's gone. There's mushrooms now. I don't really know what happened here, but something's going on.
Does Thither have a history of changing its foliage?
It's the Feywild.
Well, yes, but if you're an expert in it, then you should know the answer. How regularly does it change? Does the dock move?
I assume that doesn't typically happen.
If you are an expert, there should be no assumptions. Where the fuck are we, Clapperclaw?
I have a question. Have you been here since? And I'm gonna kind of gesture at Cece and go, fell asleep.
The dormant queen.
Oh, Zai.
Are we saying her name out loud? I didn't know that.
That's not her actual name.
Time Mad sees Erebus jump down on the shore from the top of the mushroom and make feet to ground landing.
Oh,
My
maybe that
fucking
person
God.
knows where we are.
Well, there's a new person over there. You all right over there? Because apparently we are just a rescue boat.
Yep.
Fucking scared the shit out of me. I thought I was out here by myself. Fuck.
Well, apparently you're not. Do you need help or not?
Think I got it fucking sorted. Where are we? Is this
Could be
Hither?
Hither, could be Thither. Could be Hither, could be Thither, if you know exactly where you're at.
I was just in Thither. I went through the mess, made my way over here. Is this Hither?
We don't know. We're
we
not
were just
from
in
here.
Hither. We were going to Thither.
Well, you gone in a circle.
Or
this
you
is
went in a
definitely
circle.
not Hither.
One of us went in a circle. We both can't have gone in a circle.
Are we yawn?
Probably you. I'm gonna assume it was you.
I've been going in a straight fucking line. You've been fucking trying to follow the fucking river.
I'm sorry. Do you know how to navigate the mist? Is that a
I
skill
know how
you
to walk in
have?
a bloody straight line. I'm not that far gone.
Jesus.
You might be.
Is he high?
Absolutely.
Can we just tell?
Erebus, your hands, when you look at your hands, or you maybe notice when you're talking, your hands are colored blue, like Smurf blue from the top of the mushrooms where you're trying to dig the spores out and stuff. You have very blue hands.
About how far away are we from him?
65 to 75 feet.
Why are you so angry?
More importantly, why are you so blue?
Oh, he's blue? Fascinating.
Yeah.
Devin,
Why are you so angry and blue?
Firstly, I'm angry. I'm not even angry. I was just starting. Firstly, let's start there. I ain't pissed yet. I'm just confused. Secondly, that mushroom. Also, good shit. Help me collect some. Regardless if it has
Why?
a hit or Thither, there's going to be somebody who will pay for it.
Honestly, he
Why?
just seems like he's having a good time.
That's a good point about the whole making money thing. I don't know
If
how I
we-
feel about it, though.
If we help you get this
Delia.
mushroom, will you get on the boat and sit quietly? And stop
Delia,
making a
don't you
scene?
have some sort of resting nature knowledge?
Wait, we're getting back on the boat?
We're still on the fucking boat, Cece.
Oh, I thought we
Do not leave the boat.
She's got like 1 foot out already. Like, we're not. Oh,
Do
okay.
you even know who's heading to this boat anyway?
That would be the pumpkin head.
That would be me.
Copper claw.
Ah. I'm sorry about your head.
Oh, no, I really like this head.
Oh, congratulations.
It's much better than the last one I had.
What was your last head?
It was a gourd. It rattled. It made too much noise.
We went to a lot of trouble to get that head for him.
It's true.
We did.
It
This is a lot of
involved-
preamble. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, that.
Right, now I believe you really haven't been in Thither yet. Well, maybe a bit
Oh,
of a
I'm sorry, my
reputation.
liege. Was there some sort of reputation that needed to precede you? Who the fuck are you?
I didn't think you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
Not
I'm
you, Flip.
spicy
No.
today.
No, you're
Oh.
wonderful, Flip, and we're glad you're here.
I don't know.
You
Something
said my
about this.
liege.
Yes, out of jest, I would actually respect if
Oh.
I called you it.
That. fair enough.
Asshole, what's your name?
My name is fucking Erebus Nocturne. I'm the fucking Night Hammer Thither. Been playing there for the last few fucking weeks, and since you all don't even fucking know my name, clearly you haven't seen head or tail of Thither in quite some fucking time. So I don't
Isn't
know
that
what the
fucking
fuck
wonderful?
your guy's doing, but you ain't heading in the right direction, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
And
one.
where in particular are you attempting to head?
Fuck if I know, I'm trying to head back to Thither. I have a gig tonight.
Wonderful. Do you want in the fucking boat?
Are you heading to Thither? Do you know where the fuck you're
Yes!
going?
Yes. Yes.
Fine then.
I,
I'm
hang on.
alright.
I say I'm 2 seconds away from casting suggestion.
Get on the boat. No suggestion on your party mates or not party mates that will be your party mates. Inevitably,
Oh, yeah.
Erebus will be his party mates. No
I'm
spells.
on the boat. I'm on the boat.
Max,
All right.
do you still have the truffle whiskey?
No. Don't make me.
Fuck.
I have the truffle whiskey, just don't make me.
You have truffle whiskey.
Of course I have truffle whiskey.
Okay.
Truffle whiskey, I have good bourbon. What's your point?
She's the best bartender in the Feywild.
They.
Flip.
We've been over this.
My apologies, Mads. They are the best bartender in the Feywild.
Right.
So there's a bit of an exaggeration, but
Well, Captain Clapperclaw, do you pull the boat away from the shore after your new passenger is on, or do you rest there momentarily?
If the river continues, Clapperclaw would probably look around and be like, so are we continuing on then?
Yes.
go down the route that you know. We trust that instead of
And-
taking any unnecessary risks.
And that is what Clapperclaw will do.
All right, so you push off from the bank and you start heading on, and you go down about 100 foot, and then you end up in this sort of cul-de-sac, this river cul-de-sac, and you come like it kind of like turns you around, and then you see as you go around the cul-de-sac, like on the shore again, is the same mushroom place that you picked up Erebus, which is weird because last time it was over there and now it's over here, but it's there again.
Clapperclaw is gonna slow the boat again. We might have a problem. We might be lost in the mist.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Are we actually still in the mist right now? Or has the mist cleared?
The mist is clear.
We're 2 for
Okay.
2.
It's not as heavy. It's like
All right.
in the
We might be lost. I think maybe we should get out here.
Okay, are we taking the boat with us or leaving it here to get lost later?
Yeah, let's just drag the boat on land. That sounds like a great idea.
I mean, we could find a way to like store it somewhere, pull it out of the water so it doesn't just drift away.
Let's tie it to a tree
Or a giant mushroom.
or a giant
Fine.
mushroom.
Things are fine. It's fine.
Are your voices telling you something that's making you worried? Or is it just your worriedness making you worried?
Trying not to scream, although do I have the ghost telling me anything right now?
9 Nix Nunca. Complete and total Suki and silence.
I'm getting off this boat. Getting off this boat.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're getting off the boat. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
After you do all that work to convince me to get on, I'm just gonna hop off now.
Well, you know.
We're right where we
welcome.
picked you up.
Yeah, we didn't go anywhere. Woohoo.
Right.
Congrats, we didn't murder you in cold blood.
Oh, is that your thing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first one to try.
No, everyone has always deserved it.
That's true. We only murder in hot blood.
Hmm.
Right.
Hated that word.
Heron that tried to gank me this morning.
That's okay.
Look. You said your name was Erebus.
Right.
Lovely to meet you. Not sure whatever reputation precedes you. Frankly, we're new to the area. But nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine. And you?
Call me Mads.
Name's G.
Are we going
What
around
about
saying our
you?
names?
Jittery. The panicky one.
Hmm?
Yes.
You're not incorrect.
Oh, God. No, we are not starting that again. No.
Too late.
Fuck, I need a drink. Delia, you can call me Delia for now. Fuck, I hate this
my God.
place. Fuck, I hate
Mads is gonna bust out one of their bottles of truffle whiskey and pour a glass for Delia. Relax. Not a problem until we're all separated.
You can call me
Mushrooms.
George.
Nice to meet you, George.
Yes, King George.
Right.
The fuck?
It's the Feywild. It's not like any of us were actually giving our names out. Let's be real.
Aye. Funnily enough, seems my name doesn't work on the Fae.
Aren't you just special?
Apparently so.
So you actually told us your real name? That's weird. And
Yeah.
really personal.
Well,
I feel
Look,
like I
listen.
don't know you well enough for that yet.
I always go by my name. That way, when good word spreads, I get the proper credit.
for the sake of fairness, he may also be in a situation similar to me, where
Well, that
perhaps
would
identity
be-
isn't. Perhaps an identity matter is in hand, and let's be honest, it doesn't matter whether or not they call me Mads or not, because I've already given that exact name to Agden. We're fucked either way. I'm fucked either way.
Correction.
Who's this
There are
acting
people
company?
who you didn't realize it was a real name at first, too. There are plenty of people who give multiple names, including to the same Fae every time. So if you just keep giving different names, they probably won't catch on.
Not necessarily that simple. It's.
It's a possibility.
I knew it was my name.
Agden's not going to be a problem for you.
Once again, I'll ask, who the fuck is acting?
He's a bunny.
Bunny Prince. Bunny Prince. Right
He's
prick he is.
Prince of Bunny Thieves.
Yep.
Oh, you mean the fucking brigand that tried to fucking rob me this morning?
Well,
I doubt that was
probably,
him.
yeah.
maybe. Did he have a blue scarf on?
Didn't really pay much attention to him. They tried to get this ring off me.
You
fair
would
and
know.
square.
Did you take the ring from them first?
I won the ring from there. Fair and square.
Ooh, fair and
Insight check.
square.
It ain't my fucking fault if they don't look at the fucking cards. If they're just gonna show them to me, what am I gonna do? Not fucking look?
Insight check
Yeah.
of
Right ahead.
Yeah.
For your goddamn deception, Clockwork.
don't mind.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, that's a 21 for my
All right, I
insight.
guess I actually got to
25.
fucking roll. Oh shit,
25.
that's a not one.
But you have to tell us the truth.
There's cards falling out of your sleeve as you were saying this.
Amazing.
Pepper's-
G will just catch one and put it in his own sleeve.
Everest, honey, you want to try that again?
Listen,
Erebus, not
I didn't
Eberus.
get fucking paid after my gig, and so I need to get coins somehow. Ended up joining the table, play a couple of rounds, cheat a couple of rounds. Do what you gotta do to survive.
On the one
Is
hand, I
legit.
respect that. On the other hand, you are a fool if you did that to the Prince of Bunnies.
Let's hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Would you like me to fix this problem for you?
What? You have some type
I'm
of diplomatic
sorry.
immunity or some shit?
Yes.
King
What?
George.
For real? Wait, he's an actual fucking king.
Yes.
Yes, he's an
Coming
actual
back to that.
fucking king.
Appears so, yeah.
I'm just
Coming
not
back
an
to
actual
that.
fucking
George.
George. What's your point? Yes?
Why do you speak as if you have an in with Agden outside of political reasons?
I have an in with Agden,
Fuck,
and I
sick
very
kid.
carefully use my right hand to, like, shake my hair so that you actually can see bunny
What?
brand.
Yeah, but they don't
Did
see
you-
it, Flip.
Oh, they don't see it. I don't know that you don't see it though. So I
What did
moved
you
my hand
do?
in this
Actually,
signifying way.
hold on. I technically ended up with a brand on my hand after Bunny held. Do I see it?
No.
Okay.
Why do you guys still look confused? It's. Do you want me to sort out this ring business for you or not, dude? It will
This is
involve
incredibly
giving.
avoidant.
Well,
Nothing
no,
is given for free here.
What am
Gotta
I
be careful.
avoiding?
You just ran your hands through your hair and you didn't explain anything.
Don't look.
That's a hand.
I'm
It
going to
is.
show you
Fucking
the
hell.
other hand where the hag licked me. Does this look like just any hand to you?
Yes.
Yeah,
They're hands.
What about this one?
same.
Hands.
Little hand.
Whatever
this-
you're trying to show us, we don't see.
Flip, just say what are we supposed to see?
Did you
This
marry Agden?
No. I
For
checked
the
on
last
that.
time,
before I
I'm
let
not
him do it.
married to a ghost.
No, you're not. You're
This
married to a
hand-
will-o-wisp.
I'm
This
not
is
married to
where-
anyone. Thank you.
It was
This
a
is
joke,
where-
Cece. Get over it.
If Lorna thinks I taste good.
Uh-huh.
Gross.
This one is a token between royal cousins.
So you're Agden's
For
cousin.
So
royal
you're king
cousins.
for. You know what? No, I'm not going to even attempt this. You have
didn't
to
know-
tell us this stuff, King
I
George.
didn't know you couldn't see it.
Nope, I heard that. So your name's Flip.
No.
I did not say the entire name, actually.
And also, nobody knows my full name.
Yeah.
I haven't told it to anybody ever except for that, well, one kid who finished growing up. But anyway,
Why does that vaguely sound like murder?
One kid who finished growing up.
I would have told it to the rest of them if they finished growing up before.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Anyway,
When do you finish growing up?
You dead.
You're damn ready.
when you reach the age at which you find out your name along with the name of those who raised you. Anyway,
I see.
it's not safe to tell children their names. They might go giving it to somebody.
This is true.
I hate that has a thread of logic.
So we only tell them their name once they reach maturity. We also only tell them their parents' names once they reach maturity. Anyway, I'm supposed to be able to contact him once a day if we need him for something. I could probably try to use it to tell him that we have his ring and he could get it back.
I'm not giving the fucking ring back. What are you on about?
Fair enough. Well, then I can't solve this problem.
Yeah, no, fucking let him come. Get rid of him. Got rid of him this morning. You don't even
I'm
care.
not fighting the rabbits for you, dude.
I'm not asking you to.
We're not
Fuck,
going-
We just fucking met. I was trying to bore
Right.
out on you, but you're
Not
fucking God
walking off. I'm walking
I'm
away
walking.
from this.
I'm
Yeah.
walking. I'm done. I'm done. I've now poured my own
You're
whiskey.
walking.
We're done.
All right.
Yep.
As
So
soon
you're
as,
walking.
as soon as everyone else is walking, if Erebus kind of sticks behind, Cece's just gonna walk up and be like, "I'm Cece," even though you didn't ask, and she's just gonna keep walking past.
Erebus is gonna like look back the way they came at the fucking inland bay. The boat just kind of like post up at along the side of it. Look at them heading into the fucking wood.
G will look at you and go, "We could just take it."
I mean,
Bye. Glad you guys checked out Echoes'
nothing's
Zeppelin.
stopping us.
So every week,
Fuck.
for 1 hour, you got tomorrow's problem. For the other hour, you got these two.
Got these two.
You have tomorrow's problem, and then you have right now's problem. Fucking Christ.
Or we could just keep getting high on these mushrooms and see how far ahead of us they get.
Honestly. You know how to forage for mushrooms?
I could try, probably.
Yeah. Talking to the person who actually does. Oh,
Probably
God.
keep up with 'em.
Well,
Erebus will reluctantly follow on after you all.
so
Same.
you're walking along, and you're off to a little bit of a rocky start, but maybe you'll get along someday. But you're kind of walking, and both groups of you start to realize that this is neither hither nor thither, because some of you know thither very well, some of you know hither very well, and some of you know both of them because you've been both places. And this is not remnant of either. It is something completely different. And as you're starting to walk through this trail, you notice that the forest around the trail starts to kind of grow denser, and these vines kind of start to grow across and over the path to the point where it forms like this very nice, elegant canopy that comes to this wooden door that's inlaid with jade and opal filigree, and it's got some flowers and stuff kind of growing out of the wood, but it's like a very large 20-foot tall massive door at the end of this tunnel.
G
There's
will
no
just
way
go
to
to open it.
There's just a whole bunch of vines hanging down. Would we need to push them out of the way?
No. It forms like a very nice canopy,
Oh, dope. Okay.
like a trellis, kind of how they would grow in a garden or whatever, but it's like an archway over the walk.
G will literally just go open it. Just
That
There's so many steps that should have happened before that.
no.
Even I know not to just open a door. Like, what?
How long have you been in the Feywild? You don't just. Oh my God.
Sometimes you
fine.
do.
Just go open the door.
Make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that coming from fucking space.
God damn it.
Can
Jesus.
I roll for survival to see if I can see a way in or anything?
Hold, please. That would be perception, not survival.
Perception, okay.
All right, that's gonna be a 19.
Okay. So, as G reaches up to kind of try to open the door, it's kind of a reach. It's a 20-foot tall door, so you got to reach up a little bit
I'm short. It's true.
to try to pull the door open. And as soon as your hand lands on this sort of wooden, viney door handle, you feel these thorns sort of prickle out into you. And you see from the canopy above all of you snake down these large plants with these. They have petals that are out, not like a Venus flytrap, but there's about 5 petals that kind of open out, and then they've got these sort of spiky, thorny things aimed down at you. Everybody needs to make me a dex save, or you're going to get spiky poison plant thorn.
All right.
It's gonna be a 22 for me.
Okay.
That is going to be a 20. Oh, also a 22.
Okay.
Nice.
This is what
Job.
I get for using the digital.
That's
dice.
a nat 20 for Mads. These are snaky things.
Oh,
Mads is good
yeah.
at sneaky things.
19 for Clapper Claw.
13 for
All
Flip.
right.
Hang on.
Man,
Just straight
It's like a
dex
chaos coin. Mm-hmm.
Should have used the actual
No,
dice. I
No,
did
dex
not.
save.
That's a nat 20.
Okay. Chaos coin.
Jesus.
So you'll only take half damage as these kind of thorns, they shoot out at you. G, you did not take the poison damage from opening the door, but you are going to take 6 piercing damage from the thorns in the door. And the rest of you are only going to take 4 piercing damage, no poison. Everybody passed their dex, so you're good there. But the door does not.
I passed with an 8.
Oh, I didn't hear your 8. No, you can take 8 piercing damage and also 6 poison damage.
Ouch.
So So are there like creatures in the way now with these vines, or is that just like what it
No,
looks
they're
like when
just
the
like-
door got touched?
Think of if you were to use a poisonous plant as a turret to defend your woodland Feywild forest door instead of like a ballista or a machine gun. It's a plant with bullet spikes.
So is it like locked then?
Yeah.
Okay. So G will be like, it's locked.
How nice.
So
Thank you.
can I kind of investigate the area and see if I can find a way to unlock it?
If all else fails, I'll just set it on fire.
Let's
Ooh, I
not
like
do
that
that
idea.
because we don't know what that's going to do.
Oh, G,
Last resort, if anything.
come here
Yeah.
while Mads is looking around, G.
Sure.
A tip for while you're with these folks. Well, I totally admire your get up and go attitude. They get really testy if you go around touching stuff before they've had a chance to look.
Kind of seems like they're testy most of the time, no matter what anyone does.
I heard that.
But
Yes, but
Yeah.
they get more. They've got reasons for that part, and they get like more testy, like with you. So generally, I let them like look first, and then if they can't find anything, just go touching stuff.
Do you want a perception or investigation?
I want investigation.
Ooh,
That's
can
a dirty
I
20.
also make that check?
Only thing you find is the name. It's what you could assume to be a name. You realize that at the top of the door, the plants kind of form themselves into letters. And you read the word Uknasmar. Oknasmar.
Can we make a history check or something?
If you want to try.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a name Clapperclaw recognizes?
It's not. None of you recognize it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try anyway.
I'm gonna try being polite, and I'm gonna fly up to the door, and I'm going to knock on it twice. No, 3 times.
The door swings open.
I think we can go in. See,
Okay.
did I do something wrong?
No, that's just the logical thing to do, and you did it, and I don't know.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
You know what? This is
before-
great.
Let's just go in first. I'll light things on fire later. It'll be fine.
I'll help you.
Oh,
Okay,
everybody. Okay.
let's go.
Who would be going in last? Because Mads would actually stop them and show them this Uknasmar thing. Delia, yeah. And Erebus, yeah. I'll point them out to both of you. Not sure exactly what that is. Could be an anagram for something.
What's it spelled? OOZK.
If anything, it could be Ask Maroon. I don't know why I would be referencing a color in that specific instance.
Maybe it's something we'll find out more information about inside.
Anagram?
Yeah, like a word scramble.
If this is a word scramble, I can't.
I'm already inside, though. I'm guessing G is probably with me.
I'm right behind.
The only thing that I can think of is
Clapperclaw
Ask
follows.
Maroon. That's just with a quick once over, though. It's likely incorrect, but just
Give me an insight check really quick, Mads.
absolutely. Mads is kind of good at insight. Let's go. +7. That's a 26. What you got, Jesus?
You think about it for a minute as you try to you're like, maybe it's an anagram, maybe I can decipher it, and you're just like, all you're coming to is Ask Maroon, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe I'm thinking too deep into it, and it's like the name of the place we're going into, and then you're like, oh, dumb. You're just like irritated. You're like, oh, dumb.
Well, you said, look, it's a thing. You gave me a weird sequence of letters that make no sense. It's either Feywild bullshit or it's an anagram. So don't fight me. I solved your unintended anagram, Jesus. I've solved your labyrinth, puzzle master.
No.
Minotaurs escaped.
You're gonna get the horns, buddy.
I'm really save you from trying to figure out a puzzle that doesn't exist. If that's
I
really
figured out a puzzle. I got a viable solution, and I'm just saying.
You know what? It
that I
wasn't
did a
puzzle.
thing.
You know what? Mads says the word "ask Maroon." The door opens. It was a puzzle. It's magic. It's the beautiful thing. Some confetti flies
No,
out.
fuck off. I don't like this. I don't like this spoon-fed pity. I don't like spoon-fed success. Fuck off. I'm going
And,
inside.
The
I'm
trumpet
done.
lines. They kind of trumpet a
done.
fanfare. There's
Leaving.
confetti of pollen. It's this
I
whole
fucking
like.
hate you.
I
I fucking hate you. I'm leaving. I'm done.
Wait.
I have god powers too.
Bye, Mads.
I have God powers too. Fuck right off.
We go inside the door.
We are in the door.
We are in Uxnas.
Past the
You
door.
got there.
We got there.
You are in.
You have to admit, that's a weird fucking name.
We're in the Feywild. What do you expect
I
other than weird
Stand
names?
by what I need you to know my brain first read it backwards, and that was an even weirder conclusion.
When you come through these massive doors,
Ramsnaku.
Ramsanku.
when you come through these massive doors, they kind of close behind you, and when they do, you look out, and above you, like it's not as foresty on the ground; it's more rocky, and you can like look up and see like rock bridges, lots of foliage, kind of in this like misty, rocky kind of area on the bottom. But you do see cut into some of the rock cliffs, that lead up to whatever is at the top of those things. You can see trees and things up there, but you don't see like the huts or anything like that such far.
Only way to go is forward at this point.
Would like
See,
to...
she's gonna look at Clapperclaw and just go, "Where the actual fuck did you take us?"
I followed the same path I normally follow. I don't know why it brought us here.
Welcome to Uknazma.
I would like to just quickly summon my little phoenix to fly just above my shoulder as I'm flying a few feet above the ground, moving forward. This place is creepy.
It's kind of pretty, I think.
I mean, many things are both pretty and creepy.
Most things are.
Most of the Feywild, for sure.
Definitely.
So you find yourself in this sort of, I don't know what it's called. It's like a gully, maybe. One second. Jeez.
Jesus taking their own name in vain.
I mean, if anybody's entitled.
It's
Yeah.
Jesus.
It is Jesus.
I'm back from the dead now because I swear to God. Anyway,
Welcome back. How was hell?
all right.
How was
so
Toricon 2022 continued?
it was really great. I brought you specifically a gift, the ink that you needed, or the quill that you needed for the ink from the last one that you missed.
Yeah, gave us all that shit. Didn't give us a quill.
Yeah. I forgot. Just didn't list it in the thing, but anyway.
Jesus
So-
Christ.
You're in this sort of gully, and you can see like the cliffs and the rocks and everything around. You see some trees and things up above, and a couple of rough cut staircases going up, and then like a path straight ahead. Any people, any really animals, maybe like a bird or two fly up above. I don't know, a goose or something. I don't know. Nothing really important, and you don't see any animals or any people or anything around, but that is where we're going to leave you until next Tuesday
All right.
when you find out if, what, when, where, all the stuff in questions. But you can't blame Pepperclaw because he really did go the way he was supposed to go. I'm just
Sweet
up
Bean
to
did nothing wrong.
I'm 100% on board with Airbus's idea that Clapper Claw just has no idea where he's going at all. Not even a little bit.
You know what? It could be a possibility. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. But I'm pretty sure he does. So
I'm
that
already getting drunk.
I'm going to start a raid for our audience members. We're going to run over to Manapot Studios. I don't think we have anywhere else to go. And if we do, they're not live yet. So sucks to be them. So that's where we're going to go. As for everybody else, you stay right there. We'll talk after the show. And we'll catch everybody back next week for episode 2 of Breaking the Void.